Hello, welcome back to my revision podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to design algorithms and programs, particularly useful for your exam. When designing a program, there are certain concepts and constructs which you have to use, but these have been jumbled. So I'm going to give you a minute or two now, pause the video, try and match them up, and then we'll go through them. Okay guys, welcome back. The first one to start with is if statements. Now, if statements are a way of selecting data. You say, do you want to do this piece of data or that piece of data, A or B? And on the right hand side, which term sounds like that? Yep, it's selection. So there's selection. Let's get the pen out and let's just quickly draw between the two. Bing, bang, boom. How about that? Perfect. Unchangeable data. So you say, okay, well, what word there sounds like it's not going to change, it's always going to be there. And you think, yep, constant, unchangeable data, constant data. Perfect. Next one down, we've got loops. Loops, what's a posh word for looping or repeating something? As you say you're reiterating, let me reiterate, that means let me repeat. Iteration means repeating things. So loops, the posh word for loops is iteration, which is so exciting, I'm sure you'd agree. Lists. Sometimes computers have huge lists of data to process and they store them in something. Python calls these lists, but other languages don't. Other languages prefer the use of the word array. So arrays store data in lists. Finally, changing data. Changeable data is called, fun enough, a variable because it varies all the time. It changes all the time. So there you are. That is the data types and the concepts that we can use when we're designing our pseudocode. So we design things by using pseudocode, or we just write out the program in plain English. There are a few basic rules for pseudocode, which I'm going to go through with you now. These are Mr. M's rules for pseudocode. Firstly, remember pseudocode is used to design information. So, say you were to fall down dead tomorrow, great shame, with a funeral. This though, the pseudocode would allow another programmer to work on what you were doing, to finish off your work, to give you something to be proud of. So, it should be written so another coder could finish your work from it. Secondly, we expect you to use natural language. We don't need posh terms, we don't need loads of brackets and speech marks and the like. We just need natural language which someone can understand what they're making from it. And last but not least is consistency. Consistency here means that if you use a term or an expression for something, say loop once, you use it again and again and again. You don't change between the terms for something. So, with Mr. M's guide to pseudocode complete, let's look at some real life, honest to God pseudocode. Here's some pseudocode I borrowed or pinched from BBC Bitesize. So, this is written in plain English, I think you'd agree. I don't know of any programming language which could read that. So first it says set stop to false. So that's a loop. So while that's going on, it's going to loop while stop is false. Yeah? And then it says, it's probably for a car or something, or a robot, it's saying, if there's an obstacle, then stop the loop. So the word stop here, which is repeated up here, that will become true, and it will stop repeating. Otherwise, if it's not got an obstacle, move forward a centimetre until you hit something. So keep on trying it again and again and again. Remember the right word for that? Repeating something? What's the posh word for repeating something? Yep, it's iteration, which is inspiring stuff. So, let's try another one. Okay, so just quickly now, pause the video and see if you can work out what this program is going to be doing. Okay, welcome back. Set total to 0. Well, that's making a variable for 0, isn't it? If in doubt, it's always a variable, not a constant. If If it's going to be a constant, it will say it is. Get a list of numbers. So it'll ask the user or another program for a list or an array of numbers. Loop through each number in the list and add each number to the total. So it takes the big long list of numbers. Say it's got 10 numbers. It adds them all together and in a variable called total, which we set to 0 up here, and it adds them together up here. And then it says if a number is more than 0, well, that means it's a positive number. All the numbers added together are positive. While if the number is 0 or less, you can print out it's negative. Okay, so I hope you all got that. Let's try the next one. Here we are, guys. Again, have a look at this, try and guess what the answer is, and then press play to find out the answer. So press pause now. Okay, so int age equals enter your age. So there's a variable which is an integer and it contains the value age. And it says enter your age. And then it says if your age is divisible by 3, so if age divides by 3, if your answer is 0, then you're cool. If your age is not divisible by 3, then you're not cool. So that's the way it is. So if you're 12 or 15, you're cool. If not, forget it. So, last one. Again, have a look at this, pause, and then see what the answer is. Okay, right, well, as you probably guessed, this will print out the entire 12 times table. So, num equals 12. Well, that's a variable, obviously. For x from 1 to 13, that's a loop, a for loop, going from 1 to 12. It stops when it's to 13. And then it says print x, well, the for loop x, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 each time it goes round. And when it says times 12 equals x multiplied by 12. There we are, nice and simple. And that should give you the answer. So, thank you for watching today, guys. And I hope this has helped you to explain and understand algorithms.